Welcome to Legacy Coins USA, where ordinary US and UK coins reveal extraordinary secrets. What if a single penny or 2 pence from your pocket could be worth millions and change your life overnight? From rare wheat pennies and historic US cents to iconic Elizabeth II coins of the UK, we uncover hidden meanings, rare years, and forgotten details most people never notice. Before you spend your coins, pause and look again, because one small coin could hold a legacy worth a fortune. So stay with us, don't skip the video, and don't forget subscribe. Let's get started. First up, the 1951 wheat penny marked with E pluribus unum, in God we trust, and liberty has become one of the most electrifying legends in American coin culture, surrounded by stories claiming values reaching nearly $200 million in today's market. At face value, it is just 1 cent, something people overlook, discard, or leave forgotten in drawers. Yet the power of this story lies in that contrast. The smallest denomination transformed into a symbol of unimaginable wealth, capable of turning an ordinary life into one of extreme abundance overnight. What fuels the fascination with the 1951 wheat penny is its placement in a pivotal era of U.S. history. Minted in Denver during the post-war economic transition, this coin represents the closing chapter of the iconic wheat cent series, a design deeply woven into American identity. Coins from this period are scrutinized intensely, especially those tied to specific mints, because subtle variations, rare strikes, or extraordinary preservation can elevate an everyday penny into a once-in-a-generation discovery. This sense of hidden potential is what keeps collectors and everyday people searching relentlessly. Emotionally, the idea is irresistible. A penny is the ultimate symbol of insignificance, yet this narrative flips that belief entirely. Suddenly, something most people wouldn't bother to pick up becomes a possible key to financial freedom. That psychological shift is why warnings like, "Don't spend your US coins at any cost," strike such a deep chord. No one wants to be the person who unknowingly gave away a fortune for the sake of convenience. The inscriptions themselves add to the mystique. E pluribus unum speaks to unity, in God we trust evokes faith and destiny, and liberty represents freedom, together forming a powerful symbolic message. In high-engagement storytelling, these words are often framed as more than design elements, suggesting that the coin carries not just monetary value, but a deeper sense of purpose and historical weight. This symbolism makes the story feel almost destined rather than accidental. Stories of discovery keep the legend alive and personal. People imagine finding the penny in an old coffee can, a grandparent's collection, a childhood piggy bank, or a dusty box that hasn't been opened in decades. These scenarios resonate because they feel possible for anyone. You don't need wealth or insider knowledge, just awareness and curiosity. That accessibility transforms millions of viewers into active searchers, re-examining their change with renewed hope. Condition is portrayed as the silent multiplier of fortune. A 1951 wheat penny preserved in extraordinary condition is often described as crossing a threshold, from ordinary coin to historic artifact. Once authenticated and professionally graded, the penny's identity shifts completely. It is no longer currency, but a tangible piece of American history, something collectors compete fiercely to own. This transformation is where stories of extreme valuations take hold and feel emotionally believable. The broader U.S. coin market reinforces these beliefs. American coins have repeatedly defied expectations, with certain pennies, nickels, and quarters selling for astonishing sums due to rarity, errors, and limited survival. These real precedents blur the line between myth and possibility, making even the most extraordinary claims feel just plausible enough to chase. That uncertainty is essential. It keeps people watching, sharing, and searching. Ultimately, the legend of the 1951 wheat penny is about more than money. It represents hope, awareness, and the belief that life-changing fortune can hide in plain sight. Whether or not someone ever uncovers a penny worth millions, the story changes behavior and perception. It teaches people to look twice at the ordinary, to respect history, and to believe that sometimes, the smallest things can hold the greatest potential for transformation. The 1 penny 2001 featuring Queen Elizabeth II with the inscription D.G. Reg. F.D. has emerged as a captivating legend in the world of UK coin collecting, surrounded by claims of values reaching nearly $20 million in today's market. At first glance, it appears to be an ordinary copper coin passed through countless hands, but its true power lies in the story it carries. This penny represents a moment in British history when tradition, monarchy, and modern currency intersected, creating a narrative that suggests unimaginable wealth could be hiding in the most familiar places. The year 2001 holds special meaning in the United Kingdom. It marked the beginning of a new millennium, a symbolic turning point watched by the entire world. Coins minted during this period are often viewed as time capsules, capturing the transition between eras. When paired with the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, one of the longest-reigning monarchs in history, the penny takes on significance far beyond its face value. Collectors believe that certain early millennium strikes, especially those with subtle variations or extremely limited production characteristics, could become historic rarities. The Latin inscription itself deepens the mystique. D.G. Reg. F.D. translates to, "By the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith," a phrase that connects the coin directly to centuries of British royal tradition. In emotionally engaging storytelling, this inscription is often framed as a mark of authority and destiny, reinforcing the idea that the coin is more than metal. It is a symbol of continuity, power, and national identity. That symbolism transforms a simple penny into something people hesitate to spend without looking twice. What makes these stories spread so rapidly is the emotional contrast. A one-penny coin is often dismissed as worthless, yet the idea that it could make someone a millionaire or billionaire overnight completely challenges that assumption. Suddenly, small change feels dangerous to ignore. The warning not to spend UK coins at any cost resonates deeply because no one wants to discover too late that they unknowingly gave away a life-changing opportunity. The discovery narratives are especially powerful. People imagine finding this penny in an old biscuit tin, a child's piggy bank, a coat pocket untouched for years, or a family collection passed down through generations. These scenarios feel realistic and personal, which is why they grip audiences so strongly. The possibility that wealth might already be within reach, without investment, risk, or privilege, creates hope that is both thrilling and addictive. Condition is often portrayed as the deciding factor between ordinary and extraordinary. A 2001 penny preserved in exceptional condition, untouched by circulation, is described as crossing into a different category entirely. Once professionally authenticated and graded, it is no longer considered spare change but a historical artifact. This transformation, from pocket coin to collector-grade treasure, is where claims of multi-million-dollar value gain emotional credibility. The UK coin market itself adds fuel to these beliefs. British pennies, farthings, and sovereigns have previously sold for staggering sums due to rarity, historical importance, or minting anomalies. These real-world precedents make it easier to believe that even a modern penny could one day command extraordinary prices. That thin line between established fact and hopeful speculation is exactly what drives engagement and keeps people searching. Ultimately, the legend of the 2001 Elizabeth II one penny is not just about money, it is about awareness and perspective. It encourages people to slow down, to look carefully at what they already possess, and to recognize that history often hides in ordinary objects. Whether or not the coin ever delivers unimaginable wealth, it changes how people view their change. And sometimes, that shift in awareness is the first step toward discovering something truly extraordinary. Next up, the Elizabeth II 2 pence 1997 bearing the inscription D.G. Reg. F.D. on the obverse and Ich Dien on the reverse has become one of the most intriguing modern legends in UK coin collecting, with stories suggesting valuations climbing toward $20 million in today's market. On the surface, it is a familiar bronze coin most people would barely notice, yet its power lies in how easily it blends into everyday life. That ordinary appearance is what makes the idea so compelling, the belief that unimaginable wealth could be hiding in plain sight, quietly waiting to be recognized. The year 1997 carries exceptional emotional and historical weight in Britain. It was a year of national transition, reflection, and global attention, marking a moment when the country stood between tradition and change. Coins minted during such periods often gain symbolic importance over time, especially when connected to Queen Elizabeth II, whose reign defined continuity for generations. For collectors and storytellers alike, this timing adds depth to the coin's identity, transforming it from spare change into a tangible marker of a significant chapter in British history. The royal inscription D.G. Reg. F.D., meaning, "By the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith," reinforces the sense of authority and legacy carried by the coin. Combined with Ich Dien, I serve, a motto historically associated with duty and honor, the 2 pence piece is often portrayed as carrying a deeper message beyond monetary value. In emotionally engaging narratives, these inscriptions are framed as symbols of service, destiny, and tradition, making the coin feel purposeful rather than accidental. What truly captures public imagination is the contrast between value and perception. A 2-pence coin is typically dismissed as insignificant, yet the suggestion that it could change a life overnight forces people to rethink what they casually ignore. This sudden shift in perception is powerful. It turns everyday transactions into moments of hesitation and curiosity, and it explains why warnings not to spend UK coins without checking them resonate so strongly with audiences. Discovery stories amplify the excitement. People picture this coin emerging from an old coat pocket, a childhood money box, a forgotten tin in the attic, or a family collection passed down without much thought. These scenarios feel realistic and personal, which is why they spread so quickly. The idea that wealth doesn't always require chasing, but might already exist within reach, creates a sense of hope that is deeply engaging and universally appealing. Condition is often described as the invisible line between ordinary and extraordinary. A 1997 2-pence coin preserved in exceptional condition is said to cross into a different realm of value entirely. Once authenticated and professionally graded, the coin is no longer treated as currency but as a historical object with collector significance. This transformation, from pocket change to prized artifact, is central to stories of extreme valuations and fuels the belief that fortune can emerge from patience and awareness. The UK coin market itself supports this fascination. British coins, both ancient and modern, have repeatedly exceeded expectations at auctions due to rarity, symbolism, and historical context. These precedents make it easier for audiences to believe that even a relatively recent 2-pence coin could one day command extraordinary attention. That balance between proven history and hopeful possibility is what keeps viewers engaged and searching. Ultimately, the legend of the 1997 Elizabeth II 2-pence is not only about money, but about perspective. It encourages people to slow down, look closer, and respect the stories embedded in ordinary objects. Whether or not the coin ever delivers unimaginable wealth, it changes how people view their everyday surroundings. And sometimes, that change in awareness is the first step toward discovering value where no one else thought to look. Next up, the 1957 D-Wheat penny bearing the iconic inscriptions E pluribus unum, In God We Trust, and Liberty has become one of the most captivating legends in American coin history, surrounded by claims of values reaching nearly $23 million in today's market. At face value, it is just 1 cent, something people routinely overlook or discard, but the power of this story lies in that exact contradiction. The smallest US coin is reimagined as a life-changing artifact, capable of transforming an ordinary person into a millionaire or even a billionaire overnight. What makes the 1957 D-Wheat penny so fascinating is its place in the final era of the wheat cent series. Minted in Denver near the close of a design that defined American money for nearly half a century, this coin represents the end of an age. Collectors are deeply drawn to coins from transitional periods, where small differences in production, minting pressure, or metal composition can create extraordinary rarity. The D mint mark adds another layer of intrigue, signaling a specific origin that collectors obsessively examine for anomalies and exceptional strikes. Emotionally, the story grips people because it challenges how we value everyday objects. A penny is the ultimate symbol of insignificance, yet this narrative flips that belief entirely. Suddenly, every jar of coins feels like a potential treasure chest. The warning not to spend US coins without checking them resonates deeply because no one wants to discover that a moment of carelessness cost them a fortune. That fear of missing out is powerful, universal, and highly engaging. The inscriptions themselves amplify the mystique. E pluribus unum speaks to unity and heritage, In God We Trust invokes faith and destiny, and Liberty symbolizes freedom and opportunity. Together, these words give the coin a sense of purpose beyond money. In high-engagement storytelling, they are often framed as symbols of America's core values, suggesting that the coin carries not just financial potential, but historical and emotional weight tied to the nation's identity. The year 1957 also holds cultural significance. America was in a period of growth, optimism, and global influence, and coins from this time reflect that confidence. For collectors, this context matters. Coins are not just metal, they are time capsules. When a coin from such a defining era is rumored to exist in extremely rare forms or extraordinary condition, it fuels speculation that its value could transcend traditional expectations. Discovery stories keep the legend alive and personal. People imagine finding a 1957 D-Wheat penny in an old coffee can, a grandparent's collection, a childhood piggy bank, or a forgotten drawer that hasn't been opened in decades. These scenarios feel realistic and attainable, which is why they captivate such massive audiences. The idea that wealth might already exist within your home, waiting quietly, creates hope that feels thrilling and almost magical. Condition is often portrayed as the dividing line between ordinary and extraordinary. A heavily circulated penny may be worth little, but one preserved in near-perfect condition is said to cross into a completely different category. Once professionally graded and authenticated, the coin is no longer treated as spare change, it becomes a certified historical artifact. This transformation is where claims of multi-million-dollar valuations gain emotional credibility and keep people searching. The U.S. coin market itself reinforces these beliefs. American pennies have repeatedly shocked the world, with certain dates and varieties selling for staggering sums due to rarity, errors, or exceptional preservation. These real precedents blur the line between myth and possibility, making even the most extraordinary claims feel just believable enough to chase. That uncertainty is essential for engagement. It keeps viewers watching, sharing, and checking their own coins. What truly sustains interest is the idea of instant transformation. In a world where financial success often feels slow and unreachable, the thought that a single penny could change everything overnight is deeply appealing. It suggests that fate, luck, and awareness still matter, that opportunity doesn't always require privilege or planning, but sometimes simply attention. This narrative also changes behavior. People stop spending coins mindlessly. They start examining dates, mint marks, and designs. A habit forms, driven by curiosity and hope, turning everyday routines into moments of possibility. That shift in mindset is powerful, because it makes people feel active rather than passive in their pursuit of opportunity. Beyond money, the legend of the 1957 DeWitt penny reconnects people with history. It reminds them that even the smallest objects carry stories, craftsmanship, and meaning. Coins become bridges between generations, linking modern life to the hands that once held them decades ago. That sense of connection adds depth to the fascination and keeps audiences emotionally invested. Ultimately, the story of the 1957 DeWitt penny is about more than wealth, it's about perspective. It encourages people to slow down, look closer, and respect what they might otherwise ignore. Whether or not someone ever finds a penny worth millions, the belief itself transforms how they see the world. And sometimes, that change in awareness is the first step toward discovering value where no one else thought to look. Next coin. The Elizabeth II 2 pence 1999 coin, carrying the royal inscription D.G. Reg. F.D. on the obverse and the historic motto Ich Deine on the reverse, has become one of the most fascinating modern legends in UK coin history. Stories surrounding this coin suggest values climbing as high as $23 million in today's market, transforming what appears to be an ordinary bronze coin into a symbol of unimaginable wealth. Its power lies in its familiarity. This is a coin people have held, spent, and ignored, never suspecting it could represent a life-changing fortune. The year 1999 gives this coin exceptional importance. It marked the final moments of an entire millennium, a time charged with global emotion, anticipation, and symbolism. Coins struck during this period are often viewed as historical markers, capturing the end of one era and the beginning of another. For collectors, Millennium Year coins hold a special allure because they are tied to a moment the world collectively paused to witness. That historical weight alone makes the 1999 2 pence coin stand apart from countless others. Queen Elizabeth II's portrait further elevates the coin's significance. By 1999, her reign had already spanned decades, representing stability, continuity, and tradition in a rapidly changing world. Coins bearing her image are more than currency, they are reflections of an era shaped by duty and service. When paired with a millennium date, the coin becomes a tangible link between centuries of monarchy and the modern age, a combination that deeply captivates collectors and storytellers alike. The Latin inscription D.G. Reg. F.D., by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith, adds an air of authority and timelessness. Meanwhile, Ich Deine, meaning I serve, reinforces themes of duty, loyalty, and purpose. In emotionally engaging narratives, these words are often framed as more than decorative text, suggesting the coin carries a message of service and destiny. This symbolism makes the 2 pence feel purposeful, almost ceremonial, rather than disposable. What grips audiences most is the dramatic contrast between value and perception. A 2 pence coin is commonly dismissed as insignificant, yet the idea that it could be worth millions forces people to question what they casually overlook. This mental shift is powerful. It turns spare change into potential treasure and makes people hesitate before spending even the smallest coin. The warning not to spend UK coins without checking them strikes deeply because no one wants to realize too late that they gave away a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Discovery stories bring the legend closer to home. People imagine finding the 1999 2 pence in an old jacket pocket, a forgotten purse, a child's money box, or a family tin passed down through generations. These scenarios feel realistic and personal, which is why they resonate so strongly. The belief that extraordinary wealth might already exist within one's home creates excitement, hope, and a sense of personal involvement that drives massive engagement. Condition plays a central role in sustaining the fascination. A heavily circulated coin may seem ordinary, but one preserved in exceptional condition is often described as crossing into a completely different realm of value. Once professionally authenticated and graded, the coin's identity changes. It is no longer small change, but a documented historical artifact. This transformation is where claims of multi-million-dollar valuations gain emotional credibility. The UK coin market itself strengthens these stories. British coins have repeatedly exceeded expectations at auctions due to rarity, symbolism, and historical context. From ancient hammered coins to modern decimal issues, the market has shown that value is not determined by age alone, but by meaning, demand, and scarcity. These real precedents make it easier for people to believe that a modern 2 pence coin could one day command extraordinary prices. There is also the powerful appeal of instant transformation. In a world where financial success often feels distant and slow, the idea that a single coin could change everything overnight is deeply attractive. It suggests that fortune doesn't always require years of effort or privilege, sometimes it rewards awareness, patience, and timing. That idea alone keeps audiences watching, sharing, and searching. This legend subtly changes behavior. People stop ignoring small coins. They begin checking dates, inscriptions, and designs with new curiosity. A simple habit forms, looking twice before spending. That behavioral shift is significant, because it empowers people to feel proactive rather than passive, turning everyday moments into opportunities for discovery. Beyond wealth, the story reconnects people with history. Coins like the 1999 2 pence act as miniature time capsules, linking modern hands to moments of national and global significance. They remind people that history is not locked away in museums, it circulates quietly through daily life, often unnoticed. Ultimately, the legend of the Elizabeth II 2 pence 1999 is about more than money. It is about awareness, curiosity, and the belief that extraordinary value can exist in ordinary places. Whether or not someone ever uncovers a coin worth millions, the story reshapes how they see the world around them. And sometimes, that shift in perspective is the most valuable discovery of all. Last one. The 1 penny 1999 featuring Queen Elizabeth II, bearing the royal inscription D.G. Reg. F.D. and associated with the IRB portrait era, has grown into one of the most compelling modern legends in UK coin collecting. Stories now circulate claiming values approaching $15 million in today's market, turning what appears to be a simple copper coin into a symbol of unimaginable wealth. Its power lies in its ordinariness. This is a penny people spent without thought, making the idea that it could change a life overnight all the more astonishing. The year 1999 gives this penny extraordinary historical weight. It marked the final year of the 20th century, a moment filled with global reflection, anticipation, and transition. Coins minted during such milestone years are often viewed as historical bookmarks, capturing the emotional close of an era. For collectors, Millennium Year coins hold a unique appeal because they represent a moment the entire world paused to acknowledge, making even the smallest denomination feel significant. Queen Elizabeth II's image adds another powerful layer. By 1999, her reign symbolized stability and continuity in a rapidly changing world. The portrait used during this period reflects maturity, authority, and legacy, qualities that deeply resonate with collectors. A penny bearing her image from the final year of the millennium is often seen not just as currency, but as a quiet witness to history, linking generations through something as simple as spare change. The inscription D.G. Reg. F.D., meaning, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith, reinforces the coin's connection to centuries of British tradition. In emotionally engaging storytelling, these words are framed as symbols of duty, destiny, and divine authority. Combined with the IRB portrait era, The penny is often portrayed as carrying a deeper identity, one rooted in monarchy, faith, and national continuity rather than mere monetary value. What captures attention most strongly is the dramatic contrast between perception and possibility. A one-penny coin is typically dismissed as nearly worthless, yet the suggestion that it could be worth millions forces people to rethink what they casually ignore. This mental shift is powerful. It turns everyday change into potential treasure and makes people pause before spending even the smallest coin, driven by the fear of unknowingly giving away a life-changing opportunity. Discovery stories make the legend feel personal and achievable. People imagine this 1999 penny emerging from an old purse, a childhood piggy bank, a biscuit tin, or a forgotten drawer untouched for decades. These scenarios resonate because they feel realistic. The idea that extraordinary wealth might already exist within one's home, without effort, risk, or investment, creates hope that is deeply engaging and widely relatable. Condition is often portrayed as the invisible gatekeeper of fortune. A heavily circulated penny may seem ordinary, but one preserved in exceptional condition is described as entering a completely different category. Once professionally authenticated and graded, the coin is no longer treated as small change, it becomes a documented historical artifact. This transformation is central to stories of multimillion-dollar valuations and fuels the belief that awareness alone can unlock hidden value. The UK coin market itself adds credibility to these narratives. British pennies, farthings, and sovereigns have previously sold for astonishing sums due to rarity, historical importance, or unique characteristics. These real-world precedents blur the line between myth and possibility, making the idea of a modern penny achieving extraordinary value feel just believable enough to chase. Another powerful element is the appeal of instant transformation. In a world where financial success often feels slow and unattainable, the thought that a single penny could change everything overnight is incredibly attractive. It suggests that fortune does not always favor the powerful or privileged, but sometimes rewards patience, timing, and simple awareness. These stories also subtly change behavior. People stop ignoring pennies. They begin checking dates, portraits, inscriptions, and subtle differences with curiosity. A small habit forms, looking twice before spending. That behavioral shift is significant, because it empowers people to feel active in their search for opportunity rather than passive observers of chance. Beyond wealth, the legend reconnects people with history. Coins like the 1999 Elizabeth II penny act as miniature time capsules, linking modern hands to the final moments of an entire century. They remind people that history isn't confined to books or museums, it circulates quietly through daily life, often unnoticed. There is also an emotional connection tied to memory. Many people associate pennies with childhood, family, and simpler times. When those memories merge with the idea of hidden value, the coin becomes more than an object, it becomes a bridge between nostalgia and possibility, past and future. Ultimately, the story of the 1999 Elizabeth II one penny, IRB, is about more than money. It is about awareness, curiosity, and perspective. Whether or not someone ever discovers a penny worth millions, the belief itself changes how they see ordinary objects around them. And sometimes, that shift in perception, learning to look closer at what we already have, is the most valuable discovery of all.